Today we are in the part 4 of the interview question answer series. This is also for piping and mechanical guys. How do you verify means name several items to check that the correct piping material is used. Compare with IFC drawing the material specification, pipe size, schedule, length, flange face rating, weld roulette size, rating, threaded or socket weld type, MTC, PMI report, etc. How do you identify fittings and flanges? Compare with IFC drawing for material classification, size, rating, joint type, lap or socket, thread, butt, flange face, etc. How do you check piping for correct schedule? Compare with IFC drawing for verify pipe material thickness by vernier at the end or UT on the surface or stenciling done by the manufacturer, visual or heat number traceability by the MTC of the product. What is the standard mill tolerance for piping 2-inch or less diameter? 12% of the nominal wall thickness. What is the tolerance for ovality of piping? 5% of the nominal diameter at any cross section other than weld and 3% at weld end. This is reference from SAS L350. What is the difference between torquing CS and SS bolting? CS, the yield strength is high, so torque value is also high. SS, yield strength low, so torque value is lower than CS. What are the jack screws and when they are required? Jack screws are used in flange joint assemblies which often require frequent separation, includes orifice plate, spectacle plates, spacers, screens and dropout spools shall be provided with jack screw to facilitate separation and opening for the maintenance. When flange separators are used, jack screws are not required. Jack screws shall be installed to be accessible from both sides of the pipe. For orifice flanges, jack screws shall be installed at 3 and 9 o'clock position. SAS L3110. This is the reference. What is often overlooked during orifice flange fabrication? Inside surface of the welded joint at orifice flanges shall be ground and machined smooth. SAS L350. Orientation of taps should be as per drawing and standard. All parallel pipelines with adjacent orifice flanges shall have a minimum spacing of 300 mm or 12 inch between flanges outside diameter. If horizontal taps are required where the spacing is not practical, follow standard recommendation. Orifice flanges in adjacent line shall be staggered so that no two pairs of orifice flanges are less than 1 meter or 3 feet apart. What is the maximum diameter of piping allowed in hazardous service? Socket weld, 2 inch for maintenance and minor modification and 1.5 inch for new construction. Threaded, 1.5 inch for standard fittings and valve and 2 inch maximum when required for maintenance. Minor field modification of existing piping system. Can Teflon tape be used prior to seal welding? No. SAS L110. How many threads can be visible after seal welding threaded joints? No thread should be visible. Welding should cover all exposed threads. What is the gap requirement for socket welds for new construction? 1.5 mm to 3 mm. ASME B31.3, figure 328.5.2c. Give examples of unique supports detail that allow piping freedom of movement for thermal expansion. Guide support, moving saddle support, expansion balloons, shoe support, spring-loaded supports, etc. When you will apply 24 hours recorded hydro test? If for justification safety reasons the underground line must be backfilled, then the joint shall remain exposed during testing. Otherwise, if we need to backfill the joints also, the test shall be 24 hours recorded test as SAS L150. Difference between carbon steel and stainless steel. Carbon steel is low cost, no chromium content, suitable for non-corrosive service up to 350 degrees centigrade. Maximum carbon is 0.3%. Stainless steel contains more than 12% chromium, 0.08% carbon, suitable for corrosive, cryogenic, high temperature service. This is of course more costly than carbon steel. Difference between RT and UT NDT methods. RT uses X-ray or gamma ray to detect discontinuities, reveals mostly volumetric defects. Planar defects and subsurface defects generally not detectable easily. UT uses ultrasonic beam to detect the discontinuities, reveals both planar and volumetric defects, but size and exact location of the defects are not easily identifiable. Possible only on materials that do not diffract UT waves. Difference between MPT and PT. MPT only applicable for ferromagnetic materials and able to detect both surface and subsurface discontinuities. Compared to PT examination, it takes less time for testing and inspection. Applicable for large temperature range. Whereas PT is applicable for both ferromagnetic and non-ferromagnetic materials and able to detect only surface discontinuities. It requires more time, applicable for small temperature range. How do you control material in fabrication shop? All materials shall have material specification and grade stamped and stenciled clearly marked with permanent marker. All materials heat number will be made traceable to MTC from approved vendor and no material substitution will be done without proper approval from the company. All materials shall be stored and stacked separately as per material grade. Heat numbers shall be transferred before cutting into pipes that have to be cut. All materials shall be color coded as per traceability procedure. Write inspection items during valve installation. Valve type is correct at the location. Valve test certificate. Valve tag as per P&ID. Valve direction of flow as per P&ID. Gasket bolts as per isometric and type required. Handle direction. Chain wheel installed. Valve flange face condition, etc. Hello friends, this is end of piping and mechanical session part 4. Please don't forget to hit the like button and share with your friends to facilitate them and to inspire me. Shining off, Showman.